This year, we have tested two general Ultrabooks of Honor, MagicBook 14 and its Ryzen version. Pretty good in performance and pricing, especially their impressive battery lives. Today, I'll bring you a top Ultrabook of Honor. MagicBook V14 2022, what's the V means? You will find the answer after this video. First thing first, specs, Core i5-1500H, a 12-core and 16-thread processor. 16GB LP DDR5 4800 MHz soldered memory. The IPS screen is like the last gen, 14 inches, 2.5 to a 1680, 100 Shri B. Honor saw this V14 as its top Ultrabook, but its price is affordable. $899 is not a big figure. i7 and MX550 are optional in advanced version. Since current all-round laptops are installed at TX2050, this MX550 is very interesting. So I will test the i5 and IGPU version. Let's find out what the V means. First, exterior. V14 2022 has a full metal silver gray case. Very good texture after sandblasting. You can't fully open the lid in one hand. Damping will become larger when exceeding 100 degrees. I think it's a protection for the touch screen. We criticized the unstable hinge in last gen. So this gen becomes stable when touching the screen. Screen ratio 3:2. Narrow bezels, high screen to body ratio. It is a TMA screen. Color volume is 100 for Shri B. Color coverage 7.9 Shri B. Same as rated value. Good color accuracy. Average delta E 0.71. Max delta E 2.09. Max brightness 450 to nits dimming in full range. Response time. Black, white, black. 20.2 ms, gray to gray, 31 ms. A common result among Ultrabooks, the screen is better than that of MagicBook 14. A touch screen with 90 Hz refresh rate and high resolution. You can imagine its performance. Then, base panel. Top right, start key with fingerprint recognition. You can feel the difference. 1.5mm of key travel, little bit harder than MagicBook 14. Average. Touchpad got an upgrade. Very smooth, even a bit like the texture of silk. It also feels good when you tap it. Last, bottom case, long strip-shaped air inlet and rubber feet, normal design. Its front is 1mm thinner than that of MagicBook 14, the rest is the same. Weight, 1.47 kg, a little heavy for an Ultrabook without a DJU. 65-watt PD charger, tiny and lovely, which can charge your Honor phone. DJU version has a 100-watt PD charger. Then, ports. Two full-featured Type-C ports on the left, one is a Thunderbolt for port. The other is a Gen 2 USB 3.2 port. Next to them, it's a 3.5mm combo jack, a USB 3.2 Gen 2 type of port, and a HDMI 2.0 on the right, similar to MagicBook 14. But one Type-C upgraded into a Thunderbolt 4. Barely enough for daily use. If only there's an extra USB-A. So, MagicBook V14 and MagicBook 14 are very close in terms of exterior and ports. Just a few minor upgrades, such as 1mm thinner, one Thunderbolt 4, texture of touchpad. You may never notice them. So, besides changes in exterior and build, is there any other changes? Yes. Since it is a top Ultrabook, there are many sensors under its screen. First and foremost, 5MP HD camera. As you can see, it offers 16:9 and 4:3 ratio. The 16:9 view is the widest, with video specs of 144p and 30 fps. As for 4:3 ratio, its video specs can reach 259 to 1944, which is exactly 5MP, but the border will be cropped. In addition, this HD camera is really better than those 720p cameras. It shows the true color of the photographed object. But with such an HD camera, why not its smoothing and whitening features? After all, we use these functions on our phones all the time. You can't be too serious. Next to this 5MP camera, there is an eye camera, which enables face recognition. Plus, you can use gesture control in front of this V14. 3D TOF sensor enables this function, as we saw on Huawei laptops last year. But Huawei uses an ultrasonic positioning scheme. But Honor uses visual navigation, a function close to floor sweepers. They are not the same. 3 gestures are available when you're reading a PPT or a PDF. You can slide the air to turn the page. When you're watching a video, horizontal swipe is fast forward and fast rewind. And the press gesture is to pause and resume. We tested that it is available for both web and local video. Practical function. When I'm eating chicken, I can just press air to stop the video. I don't need to touch the keyboard. It is really practical. When you get used to it, the recognition rate will be over 90%. Apart from gesture control, it can connect with your Honor phones and tablets. For example, you can open 3 pages at the same time, and exchange files and photos, and open files in your phone on PC. But it is not a unique feature on V14. You guys know it a lot. Okay, next, benchmark test. First CPU, i5-12500H. 4P core, 80 core. Single core performance, R20 test, single thread, 661, average. Multi-core, after R20 test, it reached 4,600 in the first round, then stabilized at 4,350 after a slight retreat, 2,000 points higher than the last gen, significant. Because 12th gen core applied a mix architecture, which enables more cores. And V14 has lots of adjustments. Its power consumption during the test, new V14 reached 50 watts in the first round, and then stabilized at 45 watts. Last gen never stabilized at 45 watts. Power consumption is better. During the test, P-Core 3.2 GHz, E-Core 2.5, pretty good among its rivals this year. This GPU, i5-12500H version, installed an 80 EU Iris Z IGPU. 3D Mark Time SPI, 1361, Phi, 2171, Superposition Classroom, 900, almost 80% of the 96 EU IGPU on the i7 version, not bad. What games can be played? Native resolution of online games is too high for its poor IGPU. So we tested games under 1080p resolution. CS, Go 138 Fs, Dota 2, and Genshin Impact, about 50 Fs. Worth mentioning that in Genshin Impact 3.0, new areas ask for higher specs. We tested Fs in Liu Harbor and Zumi. And Zumi is lower. I guess this is because the terrain design here is more complex, too many layers and NPCs. That's why Fs drops in Zumi. Our future tests will also be conducted in Zumi. Since it has a high-level screen, you may want to do some graphics work. So we tested its PS performance. It reached 886. About 100 lower than those i7 gaming laptops. Light office work is not a problem for V14, but without a DJU, you may not be able to use PR, AE, and DaVinci Resolve. All in all, MagicBook V14 can make better use of its CPU than last gen. Daily use, basic graphic works are available. You can play online games under 1080p. Again, without a DJU. It is not for pros in film editing and games. Next, disassemble part. It is easy to disassemble. Just remove all screws on the bottom case. With a 60Wh battery at the bottom, same as the last gen. If only it's the 75Wh battery in MagicBook 14. Battery life is 7 hours and 1 minute in PC Mark 10 test. Daily use test, 4 hours and 21 minutes. About half of MagicBook 14. I know they have different batteries, but the gap should not be so giant. I asked Honor about this issue. They told me that mine is an engineering prototype, and they will fix this issue later. After that, it may lasting 8 to 11 hours in the PC Mark 10 test, just for reference. 512GB Samsung SSD.it is okay with small data read or write test. For HD Tune test, read speed fluctuates significantly. It's the hard drive overheating. During the test, one sensor detected a high temperature of 85 degrees. According to our experience, PM901 often overheats. Maybe it needs a thermal pad. 16GB RAM LPDDR5 for 8 ohms, its read or write speed is okay, but with some latency, 11 for NS. Wi-Fi card, Intel X211, is also soldered. Wi-Fi 6E subroutine has the fastest internet speed at among all the tested laptops. Beyond 1200 in downloading and uploading, I don't know its magic. Other results are average. We took Turkey's advice, conducting Wi-Fi card stable test and stress test simultaneously. We will know its conditions during extreme situation. If it can make it through, then daily use will not be a problem. According to the results, it is stable whether we have tested it or not. But the speed dropped once. But it's not a problem. Last, thermals. It's a mix of dual fan and double heat pipes. On the left, an empty space for DJU, same as last gen. But fan blades have increased. Let's see its stress test results. Stress FPU 30 minutes. CPU 81 degrees, 45 watts. P-core 3.2 GHz, E-core 2.3 GHz. 8 watts higher than the last gen, but 16 degrees lower. Very good. But exterior temperature rised. You can see the red area in the middle, with the highest hitting 47 degrees. The bottom case also hit 48.5. This was after prolonged use under high load. As for the noise, it reached 45 dB under full load, which means only you can hear it, not your friends sitting across from you. The noise is acceptable. All in all, its thermals is pretty good. The CPU performance, core's temperature improved. With less noise, it can squeeze into the first tire this year. But the exterior temperature is still a bit high. Normally, people will not use into the extreme. Unlike gaming laptops, its keyboard will not heat that much. After all the tests, I'm sure you have some takeaways. As usual, 3 pros and 3 cons for your reference. For me, MagicBook V14 2022 is a stable choice for Honor. Normal upgrades. Not like MagicBook 14, V14 didn't change a lot in specs. But in my opinion, updates in the software level is impressive. For example, gesture control and Honor Connect. Great progress in software level. I admire Honor's exploration. But why they still use 60Wh battery? I think it is Honor's compromise between weight and battery life. If you can accept a few hours less battery life, you need an Ultrabook with a good screen, a fine build, and an HD camera. I think you can choose MagicBook V14 2022, but only the i5 version is recommended. It is enough for daily use. But for the DJU version, it is not a good choice for gamers, even if you are not a fan of 3A games, because MX550 is not for games. If you can't give up games, you may consider MagicBook 14 with 2050. Or Ryzen version. That's all for today's video. Please hit like and subscribe to our channel. If you want to interact with me every day, please follow us on WeChat official account. I will talk about a laptop there every day to provide info and guidance. This is BIBA Laptops. I'm Juan. See you next time.